Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this. This time we're going to look at the security car by Silver TM that normally goes for around $45. Now he has many other products. Now you don't need this vehicle because there are many other free vehicles like a city sample and these two permanently free vehicle collection on the marketplace. Looking at the showcase level and going to do a quick tour on the products after adjusting the light. You can see that up close even it's really good quality. And there are three different variations here. Going to the modeling mode, I don't know, these shadows are the normals good. I have to check up that later. But after applying normal maps, yeah, it's fine. The collisions, they are convex, somewhat accurate. Now let's see the individual pieces like the car body. Yeah, now playing around with the car, you can see when you turn right or left, the lights on that side does light up. Now this is in version 5.1, so it's based on Chaos vehicle movement component. You can turn on the fog lights, the siren, but it doesn't have any sound included. You can change to first person and you can reset. For example, for a showcase, it's pretty good. There are two blueprints. One of them is for skeletal mesh part, which are these that have direct wheels, and I forgot to showcase the interior. It has two material slots, one for the body and the other for the glass. Fair enough. In the blueprints, yeah, there are many like setup to change the material dynamic instance at runtime. Now you can remove some parts. Of course, this using blueprint. You can remove the wheels, the top, open the doors. All already set up. You can change the colors, and depending on the mask and stuff, you can change different parts. You can this like adds to the roughness, so if you make it minus, it will become more glossy. And these are the texture masks that you're going to use for different variations. I think this is doing this a little better. You can change the dirt strength and the normal of it. The strength of this normal, how apparent it is. You can change the roughness to showcase whether it's new or old. And yeah, there are two flash and light variations. I don't know, this one doesn't showcase that well. Let's go to the skeletal part. Yes, you can see it. It can change to orange or just that the normal police siren color. Now, yeah, there is two options for now: the outer and the inner part. Yeah, let's go to the glass material, changing the opacity, the roughness. I don't know if that's working properly, but their strength is. So many material setup. We're going to go a bit more deep dive later. So I wish the sirens were had different color options as well. And also there is like an HDRI built into the glass material. It may not be apparent, but when you change it, then you can see it. You change the strength of it. You can change with the masks given, or even you can use different masks even. But for the ones given, as you can see, you can change it to the security or police or I don't know, this stripe. type, and of course you can always make your own, which I'm going to show how in the editor at the end of the video. So there is 5 4K textures, 7 2Ks, 2 5 by 12, and some other smaller textures. So these are the 12 different parts of the static mesh. All of them, almost all of them, use two material, one for the body and one for the glass. And the normal the vertices count is less than 10,000 except for the body. Now it does have different LODs already built in. And the UV channel, it uses multiple UV channels for the mask and other things. You can see the siren has like what, four different channels, each for its function, each serving a different function. Checking the UVs now, this is for both of the material, for the material slots, all of the UVs combined here, but it's like for the glass and the other part, but you can see it's pretty condensed. That was light map UV and the mask. It's pretty condensed, so there is no wasted space. That's good. This is the siren. I don't know why was that UV channel. I don't know why is it that size, but anyways, shouldn't affect performance. Going to the material, there is much setting. Also, there are a couple of options because there are two material master materials, one for the body and one for the glass. Each of them have their fair use of different texture sampler and options and parameters. I do think they're using many texture sampler, more than needed in my opinion. Like that one was just extra. Going through the material parameters for the glass material instance, you can, I think we already showcased it. Like most of them have been exposed to the material to the blueprint using the material dynamic instance, but usually it's similar to this. I think the normal strength is negative because it's inverted, interior and exterior, and you got the dirt mass. Now sometimes maybe you do not want to, that's like the dirt for the glass, but sometimes you don't want the dirt to appear on the siren, so that's why this mask exists. Although I don't know, it seems I don't know, I don't like packing things into alpha, and I advise against using it unless absolutely necessary. As you can see, that was the option to have dirt on the siren on or not on the siren glass, because like the siren is made up of the two materials, one for the glass and one for the other, like the normal body. Now you can change the additional diffuse color that gets chosen when there's different things on and off. So you can see desaturation, you can desaturate it. You can see the different material strength, the color of the interior. It says metallic part, but I don't know why are the seats considered metallic. Change the metal contrast. Always fun to mess around with such values. Change or add the roughness of the metallic parts. And change the body to metallic, which is interesting in its own way. Gives more variations. Changing the roughness with it as well. And the specular. Now this is the base color. As I said, there's no wasted UV space. Really good. That front. This is the mask. Now the mask could have been just alpha, and this one is specular, roughness, metallic, and the alpha, I think it was the dirt. That's how it is set up, and there was no ambient occlusion. Getting to the emissive part, it's gonna be a little bit challenge to show this. I think you have to enable the textures, or oh yeah, this one also works, but this is just temporary. Normally you just switch the textures and mess around with a couple of settings, you turn it on. And you also have the option to what do you call it? Yeah, adding vertex color, so you can add some variation. Control the lights with this setup. This is the master emissive texture, and these are the smaller ones. Although they're like 2K each, you can decrease their resolution, and I think they're all like one, two or three of them. Like if you made carefully, could have been just packed into one texture, and you can change the opacity. The soft opacity uses dither temporal AA node. Enabling the add vertex mix, you are hit with the limit of 16 texture samplers. There are some way to mitigate it by changing the samplers, but the quickest way is just to remove one. Changing the light of the, yeah, this is more apparent now. Change directional light intensity, and then go into the mesh vertex paint. The alpha has the dirt, controls the dirt. You have to change the alpha to 0 for it to show up. And the color, after erasing the color, yeah, adding vertex color, it may not be apparent because it multiplies it. So white is 1, so it's not very apparent, but choosing different color should yield some result like this. And of course, you can change it back to the texture, like making some masks and stuff. And of course, use that mask texture. You can change it to other texture of painting. Looking at the siren, changing. Let's turn it on. Normally, in the material in the blueprint, it enables it by you changing like the texture. But I think that's waste of space, like the texture sampler. And I made this easy note, easy math. You basically get the time and multiply it by the speed, and then you put it into sine. Now one of them has to be offset to the other one, so that when one of the lights turn on, the other side turns off, and vice versa. To do that, you just add like 0.5 before the sine, and apply the non-offset one to another sine, and then multiply each sine by the mask of the. Why isn't it working? I mean, I got it working. Why isn't it working now? Strange. Wait a minute. Let's debug this. So it should be, it's working. Maybe something is interfering with it. Let's see. Yeah, both work, but I'm pretty sure something is interfering with it. Basically, get that each light has its different, like a channel and different textures. So that's why I'm getting in the red channel of each of them. Changing the speed, slowing it down. Still, it may be a bit correct now, but now it may not be apparent the material instance, but when you drag it into the level, it should be very apparent. I still don't like it. It's not like, I don't know, I changed them. Why did it work the other time? Why not now? What did I change in the material? I must have unplugged or plugged something in, maybe. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, let's disable the other one. Yes, now it works. So it was the other one interfering, other textures interfering with that. Changing the speed 0.5 and the offset, yes, 0.75. Both of them works. You can change the speed, and to turn it off you just set the speed to 0. So like one scalar parameter could control both turning it on and changing the speed, not just changing the textures at runtime. Now you can use this free plugin, awesome plugin called Iliad, to change to make your own texture after duplicating it, then adding a layer. There are many brushes you can choose from. For example, I'll try to add something. Yeah, I'll add that one, although this is using black and white, so that color shouldn't be apparent that much, so you better just use black for masking. That grid should work. Adding some rocks, I hope some of it will show up. Let's see, shadows. Oh, well, there are many different brushes that you can choose from, and images even. Like this bat, I'm going to choose the bat. And because my text is terrible, using the mouse, I can use this free provided text. See, you can easily apply text even. Here I'm going to use the camouflage texture and changing the colors, because like I said, black and white, I have to choose different shades, black and white, different powers of them to show it a bit. You can also, like I said, having images, in this case shapes. There are many options basically, and this is a really fast way and a really awesome free plugin that you can do that inside the editor without leaving EUE. There is the option of the mesh paint to paint the texture, but it's not as versatile, nor is it does it have such features. Now I think it's a really awesome vehicle. However, it was released back in 2017 maybe. For the time, it may have been the only one. I think for now, since there are those free car packs, it is overpriced. Not only that, like this is the quality is really high, but so is most of the vehicles that are, especially on the city sample, they're top-notch quality and they have these built-in deformation. So I'm not sure. I mean, if you really need this style, I think it's really good. Like the variations and textures that this have, I mean, you can set it up with the others as well. If you put a bit of effort into it, you can do it with other vehicles as well in the material and making masks and stuff. This is pretty solid. You can make many different variations with this one. Well, it's like one of the downsides of this is the interior is not rigged. Unfortunately, I think the steering wheel does come separated, but in the skeletal mesh part it's not rigged. The wipers are not rigged or does not come as separated. Neither the mirrors. One thing that stood out to me, it was the hatchback door is not animated. That's, I mean, this is a hatchback. That should be given an option to change it. I think the materials could be more performant, removing multiple texture samplers. I think that those were way too overused, and they didn't do anything. Like just being a black texture, you don't need that. And I forgot to mention that the size of the folder is about 125 megabytes. Hope you enjoyed.